And with that, they're going to go 1-1. Or if there was a previous game, it's going to be 2-1. Let me refresh our... Oh, I've got a dispute. Got to resolve. Let's see here. Somebody disputed their buy. It's a buy. There's no chat. Why would you... Mickey, no. I'm not sure why they disputed their buy. They didn't send me a message or anything, so I'm just going to resolve it and say, yeah, it's a buy. Alright, so we're just waiting on Vlad and Mag, and Kuzia and Devil. Take a look at Vlad versus Mag, see where they're at. Alright. A fairly commanding position. With New Era in hand. No idea what got banished.
Let's go then. My time is precious. Let's go then. My time is precious.
Cycles for card draw. What are we looking at for damage? 12. Assuming you can summon over that, which you can. 18. 24, 28. So lethal in hand. Or lethal on board. Alright. So that's stabilization. Or not technically lethal on board anymore. I still think you hit him as hard as you can. What's Odin Aaron got for you? No charge? And I just play out Bruma Barrowstalker?
There's a plan. There's always a plan.
I smell the stench.
I guess maybe you could have played out Sheer Point, eat the Harpy. Don't think it really matters at this point. Double Ice Storm's all that saves Mag.
You will die in flames.
It's close.
The Night Mother will
It's enough. So you oppose Manticora and then execute? That is the actual sound that Vlad made when he realized that Mag had an answer to his board. Just a deep, throaty roar.
I will not be on the wrong side of history.
Must I do everything myself?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot match Telvanni coming.
Is that enough for a new era? Or do you just Dawn's Wrath that? Goes for a more reliable clear? Yeah, it's better. Holds Bruma in hand, which is odd.
I sense great power.
Lenneth for card of choice, ×2.
Perhaps a direct approach.
Just Dawn Wrath the lane away. Into a Bruma Barrowstalker. Or Barrowstalker Bruma if you're worried about getting health.
I smell the stench of the living.
I mean, Ice Storm works. There is said Ice Storm. That's just noodle bait. Ooh. Maybe just Alien Guardian instead. Looking through what we've got for Necro targets. We've got access to the Noodle, 3-Feather Warchief, Pharaoh and Fighters Guild, Hist Mage. Uh-oh. Mana Marco, Duke.
You trusted me. How foolish.
That's going to be enough for a new era to fire off, I believe.
Speak, citizen.
I guess Duke's already here, so you don't need to.
I am the Queen Mother.
Yeah. It's time for that new era.
A powerful blow.
Yeah. Do you curse Leaf Lurker your way past one? Or do you oppose your own Alien Guardians? Well, there's the decision. Shadow Fend the other one just so that you've got the extra power on board. Because you just need to connect for 4 damage. And then you can Necro back the Noodle for lethal.
Rise, my servant.
Oof. So you play out your Alien Guardians here. There's no charge you can Soul Tear. You're hoping to pull one of the 2 Mana Marcos that's in your deck so that you can Mana Marco his Alien Guardian. As you do. Oh boy! There's the Mana Marco. Does he have... Oh, I was wondering if he had something good in his graveyard to grab. Not really. Like a, Shackle everyone.
You trusted me.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to pull back Alien and get used to an Alien fight. Soul Tear back an Alien. The interesting thing is that Vlad played the Sheer Point back during the turn before Oda cleared everything. He would have had a 6 health minion still alive over here to win the game. In hindsight, not clearing that Harpy ended up being a huge mistake.
I'll scout ahead.
So 10, 13 damage through the guards. Because trade. Unless he managed to find a Leaf Lurker to clear this one. Looks like nope. That trade's going to enable him to Odavang next turn. That's what I was thinking maybe he had stacked up.
Behold my power.
Is that game? I guess not, because you can jab that, and you're still alive by 1.
Well fought. I have many.
Mag's gotten Kano. Game over. Well played by both sides. A little bittersweet as Vlad, where you're like, I had lethal. I had lethal had I played the correct creatures a turn before. Well, several turns before. Let me refresh the bracket, see where we're at. Devil beat Kuzia 2-1. So we are literally waiting on Vlad and Mag to wrap up their sessions. Then we'll be able to move on to the final round. Alright, they're in for one last round then. Vlad opening with triple Ice Storm.
I shall be your eyes and ears.
So we're a Stealer of Secrets combo. Got it.
The Night Mother will guide us.
Rapid pass. Fargus has returned to his food dish. We'll see if he gets up on the cat tree. Return to co-casting with us.
I'll scout ahead.
So Ebonheart Oracle into the field.
The nine inspire us.
I still have water? I am out of water. This is a problem. All my water was taken and frozen by Vlad.
If I fall,
Alright, you execute that. Because you want to preserve the idea of a Satyr Assault. Mag really doesn't care about the health gain, as Mag's trying to get to a late game Aliad combo. I think Aliad combo beats Stealer of Secrets, but I'm not 100% on that.
The hist heals and rejuvenates.
Here's gonna Crusader's Assault over this. Deny him any magic again, because he needs that for his combo. And you know, just heal for 10 because that feels like a fun thing to do. So you've got a rage combo in here as well. Interesting. You're at 8 cards. You can pass here. There's no good card to play.
Just forget about C. Everyone does.
Taking the Ebonheart. Taking the Satyr's Assault.
Just forget about C.
And taking the Ebonheart.
Everyone does.
Or not. Yep. Jab solves that problem pretty easily.
I don't know it all, but I'm pretty close.
You know that's pulling an Aliad. Or he already has an Aliad and it's pulling a combo. I think Mag is heavily favored at this point. Steelers are only 5/5s.
Let's go then. My time is precious.
Pulled an Eclipse Baroness. Had to use 2 cards removing a card that drew 2, but he overdrew an Aliad. That ended up being worth it. I mean, he's probably got more Aliads in hand and possibly has ways of reanimating them from the graveyard, but
Feel the power within you.
progress. Belligerent Giant chasing the Gatekeeper off.
Lords and claws. Feel the power within you.
The ramp continues. Interesting. Runs feed as removal.
I'll try to draw their fire.
Well, pulls the guard, so it works.
I'll scout ahead.
Let me take a look at how many Aliads Mag runs, and if he runs Reanimate. He runs 2 Aliads. No Reanimates, nor Soul Tear. So overdrawing that Aliad was actually really huge, beyond what it would be normally. Lose all the belly G's.
You cannot match Telvanni coming.
I mean, it's still a very big, greedy Telvanni deck that runs 2 Devate's Experiments. Is this worth a double Ice Storm? Looks like we're setting up a Stealer. Negation? Stealer's worst nightmare? Yep.
Let's go then. My time is precious.
Scaleless coward. Perhaps a direct approach.
Javelin, huh? Into hand? That basically telegraphs I'm using full board removal. So double Ice Storm next turn. Pushes Mag to 9. Farkas is curled up just on the other side of my desk, where he's got a good angle for watching Lady Genebu. I guess he's bored of watching me today. Have I been boring you, kitty kitty? Or pestering you beyond what is normal? That one's more likely.
You trusted me. How foolish.
There's not really anything great to steal. You've only got 6 actions. I guess it's still a 7/7. Alright, didn't steal Sealer. Keep Revitalizer. That way you can try to get back some health. So I now
Fight for the glory of lost Almeries.
ring out a Jav to kill Mana Marco, and just rapid shot Hive Defender. Play the Jav that he knows you have. I guess cast really doesn't matter, because he has no graveyard recursion.
The Night Mother will guide us. What have we here?
Alright, draw with Apprentice.
The fighter's will stands ever ready.
Repeat.
The fighter's will stands ever ready.
Execute Stealer. Stealer into yonder field lane. Opts for more control. That's safe. I can respect safe. A little bit of an overzealous use of Fire Bloom there. New Spooter. So you play out Stealer Shadow. You don't play out both Stealers.
My magnificent monster.
But you've got Crusader's Assault to give her breakthrough. And you've got the third one if he finds an answer to it. I do think you use the Manic Mutation here just to see what you get. Okay. Doesn't play Stealer, even though he could set up for a Rage against a Conscription deck. I can't help but feel that was actually a pretty bad mistake. Ooh. Jim hit this hand hard. Gives away a Stealer. so good!
Some thieves have manners.
Rage. You go ahead and use the Manic Mutation so you don't overdraw. Hopefully you hit Drain. You did it, Drain. Alright, you've got our combo. Party, Ring, Stealer. What was the overdraw?
I will keep Sofa Sill's people alive.
My enemies have taught me well.
I missed what he used there. Oh, feed.
Mora tests us.
So what were we at? We've got 4 from the charge.
No man can deny
So
his
24.
destiny. No man can deny his destiny.
Vlad's got lethal here if he sees it.
Let's do this.
My enemies have taught me well.
Time to fight.
And with the perfect rune skip. Woo! That worked out. It was close, but it worked out. Alright, that should be all for them, so we'll be going into our final round. Let's see what they get for reporting their score. I'll just message what was the score and we can get this moving just a tad quicker. Vlad. Yoink. Vlad's offline now. Alright, we have to wait for Mag to put in the score then. Though we saw Mag win 2 games, right? Because we saw him win versus the Empire and then win versus the... No, Vlad won the last one. He lost with Empire. So that's going to give Vlad the win 2-1, I would assume. Alright, score's getting reported now. And yes, Vlad won his first game versus the Tribunal. As soon as he puts in the screenshot for the final one, we'll be able to advance into our finals. Our standings, as they exist, this is Phoenix's game to lose. And so what I mean by that, let's pull it up. He's currently our only undefeated person. But there is still one more round, so there's a chance for him to meet defeat at one of his vying opponents. So any of these people theoretically could end up with first if they can get a win and Phoenix loses. Otherwise, Phoenix will carry it should he win. He's also got really powerful tiebreakers. His opponent win rate is through the roof and probably the highest of them. So he's probably a shoo-in for at least second. And then his win rate is also the highest of any of our opponents. Alright, they've finished reporting their scores. Round 5. Generated. Best of luck to everyone. Where is Phoenix? He is versus Fellerin. So that will be the first game we are watching. Phoenix brought the 2 Gabos and the Guildsworn. We've not looked at Fellerin's lists yet. So let's pull those up. He's got an Assassin and a Scout and a Rhetorun. The Assassin is a Crab's Assassin with some Atronach synergy. Rhetorun is a bit of a mid-range Rhetorun, trying to close out late game with some of the Supreme Dragon, Umaril Vivek. This is the big boys deck we saw him running earlier to try to get around Telvanni removal. Tribunal removal. And then he's got the Goblin Scout, except he runs a little bit beefier of a Goblin Scout. More purples, Mute, as a one of Aldvalathi, Spirit Troll, and Umaril. So what are our bans for our final? None of these said I counter invade. This one's the best possibly versus invade, but none of these are hard counter invade. So if you're going against Phoenix, you just hard ban the invade. I don't want to see it. Get it out of here. So knowing we're going in with goblins, we want the deck with the least amount of prophecies and the highest curve. Crabs overall are a subpar. They're not as fast as goblins, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But goblin versus goblin, you're rolling the dice. You run Bolt, though, to answer Queen. This has Golden Initiate. That in and of itself, and it's got some other prophecies, Protector, City Guard. Yeah, I think you're banning the Rhetorian. Goblins don't have a guaranteed answer for Vivek, and playing 4-cost, 7-attack creatures might get out of hand real quickly. And then you just say, hey, my goblin is quicker than your goblin. And then it's Assassin Scout versus Assassin Scout. Alright. Those are my calls on the bans. Both tricolors get banned out, and then our finals is 2 Assassins versus 2 Scouts. Or 1 Assassin, 1 Scout versus 1 Assassin, 1 Scout. While they're taking a minute to finish checking in, I'm going to go refill my water. And possibly herd a kitty in our general direction. Heard the bark, yes. Heard the bark, yes. He's just rolling over. This is not being very effective. Oh, alright, we've got movement. Nope, he's just playing loop under the desk. Let's go ahead and refresh our screen here. See if our bans are in. Scout. So, Fellerin has opted to play versus Invade. Let us see how they do as soon as they get in game. So I think you open Goblin if you're Phoenix, and you keep Invade as your backup. Try to knock out anything you can with that Goblin deck. Personally, I think your Assassin Goblins is the quicker of your 2 Goblin decks. So it's a little interesting, because if I had to pick a second one, I would have picked the Assassin as the secondary ban. Alright, they're in game. Phoenix agrees, and he is opening up with the Assassin versus Fellerin Scout. So we're going to keep the Witch. We've got Ring, but we've also got a pretty low curve, so I think we throw back the 4-drop and the 6-drop. Try to make sure, because we got to be playing every turn. Phoenix, I can already see, isn't happy with his hand. He got a 3, a 4, and a 6. Oh, he mulliganed the 2-drop. Ooh. Razum on Phoenix's first draw. So he's pulling all of his top end, which he does not want. I am not sure why Fellerin is waiting. There we go. He passes. See, if anything loses Phoenix the game, it's the fact that he had no play there. But Fellerin also had no play. Unless he feels like ringing out a 3-feather Warchief, which I don't think he will. Oh, and then the turn after it's useful, the Mournhold Trader shows up. So there's no way to stop that thing from getting its objective. Phoenix has choices for his 4-drops, either the Scourge or a Skirmisher. I think we're going to see a rung out Scourge, because that enables a Warchief clear next turn. You could also, I guess you could play the 3-feather Warchief if you want to save your ring, because then when it gets cursed, you play Scourge the turn after and clear. I am not sure why Fellerin is roping here. Chooses to go with Scourge. If you play your Scourge, you know he's got a curse to remove it. I think I like setting up the... Well, do I like setting up the Bitterfish? Because that breaks up your turn 5, which is going to be Bitterfish and Trader. I think you needed to play... I honestly think Skirmisher was the play there. Well, no, because if he has 3-feather, he's got 3-feather, and that doesn't make a difference. Play for Fellerin. 3-feather Warchief, tap, ring, Ald Valathi, curse remove. Then you've got your last ring saved up for a sheer point. Okay, so you've got Bloody Hand, Chef, Mournhold Trader, Curse. All of that ends up going face, or field.
You can trust me.
So there's the one of Mute in the list. No great targets. I could see an argument for ringing out Sheer Point, then cursing down Mournhold Trader. Both targets going here. Fellerin appears to have gone to roping every turn. A little bit of an interesting... I wonder if he's maybe looking up what he could combo, or... You've got the Sheer Point. I guess Sheer Point really doesn't matter. Well, what's nice about Sheer Point is that it gives you the ability to get curse value next turn. Chooses to go face. That's going to be a -3 and allows for a clearing of Chef. But what other options do we have? We have up to 7 Magicka. 3 Feather War Chief is a pure clear. I think 3 Feather and Witch are the play here. So 3 Feather's going to clear the Sheer Point. Murkwater Witch taps that down to 2, so you can trade in. And actually, both of these end up going into the field. Well, or you could go Shadow and set up a Skirmisher. You are behind. That's worth considering. Looks like he opts to go for a Silence. So same play, but plus Silence. That's fine. And I think that sets up Fellerin for the win. Because I don't think he's going to be able to come back from a Skirmisher play. And notably, Phoenix is still attempting to race him. If we play Skirmisher, so we play Recruit first to get card draw. Maybe we'll pick up a 2-cost Gabo. So now here's the question. Can he keep up the momentum? He being Phoenix. Behind by 4. Lethal in his lane. He can pick up 2 curses by playing the Guide, Scourge, and then play Dusk Eater over here. You're then pushing 6. So you're dropping your opponent to 14. Sorry, 16. I'm pointing to the right tick. You're going for your own Goblin buff? I was looking at doing that next turn. But what are we looking at for damage here? 9 plus 8, 17. Cliff Racer in hand. 9, 12, so he needs 6 more damage. He doesn't have it. You could draw first if you think you're gonna pull another Skirmisher. Because that's the only thing that gives it to you. If you're looking to trade, Sheer Point can remove 2, but that means this is still lethal. So you're looking at having to Cliff Racer one of these. Oh, he can ring out Tazcad. I'm a dunce. I was seeing 8 Magicka, can't play Tazcad. Never mind. Fellerin wins. Prook's being blind. This is why Prook doesn't play in these tournaments. It also means the line I was looking at was moot point, because all it would have done is lowered it by 1, and he was at -1 health, if I recall correctly. So now we're going to be versus the Invade. Both cats have returned to the food dish. It was time. Keeps the Execute to deal with early Gabos. I had to see what else he got. Fork's a terrible pull. Blood Crazed Daedroth? Not great. Only good thing is you've got Ring. If we're Fellerin, we're the aggro list, I think. Maybe? Maybe Control? We keep War Chief, period. That's an answer to a gate. Both of these get mulliganed back. Try to find us a 2-drop. Fellerin taking his sweet time on the mulligan. Until it looked like he got down to timeout. because that was their countdown. Phoenix has a terrible hand, but he's supported by the fact that Fellerin has a terrible hand. No reason to rush anything out. Goblins with no play by turn 3 is a wee bit unfortunate. You just have to play a Daedroth. Or you don't have to play a Daedroth. Up to you. It's a really awkward hand. I mean, the Execute's good. But he's drawing all his reactive cards, has not pulled an Invade yet. Fellerin, I assume, is deciding between the Scourge and the Assassin. Taking his sweet time discussing it. If you're going to open, you open Shadow. That's standard versus Invade. Opens field. Draws into yet another Execute. Phoenix needed to be using these early turns to get a gate built up, but instead his hand is just bricking. As hard as I've seen Invade brick before. Alright, an Invasion Scout. That's something. Alright, you've got an Invasion Party. So this is where Fellerin's going to need to make the call. Does he think he can aggro down the Invade before the Invade is able to combo off? Sure, he's got removal for 1 gate in hand. Because he's got the 3-Feather War Chief and Curses. And we might even just see a Sheer Point come over here just to set up so that just straight up kills the gate. In which case we'd probably see it munch on the Scout, a trade there, and 4 damage face. Keep the 2 Curses in hand. Fellerin running the rope on yet another turn. Does choose to send that face. Sends the both face. It gets punished with a Bolt. So Blast from Oblivion clears the Cliff Facer. Then honestly, you might have to throw out an Invasion Party with 2 tokens over here. Chooses not to ring out the party.
What have we here?
I think with the Sheer Point and 3-Feather, Fellerin's in a good position to control down the gate. So I think we Spirit Veloth the Assassin, because you've got to set up the Assassin for the free kill. If the gate's just going to sit there like that, I mean, we know it's going to get executed, but Fellerin running the rope yet again. Does choose the Spirit, does choose the Assassin. What's this? Daedric Incursion? That's card draw. Picks up a Dremora Archer. So that's going to deal 2 damage. Allows him to clear the Cliff Facer. That gate's getting dangerously sized. We could drop it to 6. Drop it to 4, and then clear it. Is it worth taking a break from aggro to do that? So chooses not to break the going face. Ice Storm, huh? But he can execute this using the, So wait, you Ice Storm first. That way you keep your creature alive. No, you don't want Ice Storm first. He's correct. You've got to clear this. That was a correct play. Fellerin's got to be counting the cost of leaving that alive, although he doesn't have to. A Sheer Point 3-Feather wipes it right now. 1 magic is short of doing a 3-feather goblin skirmisher. Sorry, skulk skirmisher. Other option is 3/3/3 curse removal. That sets up for 10 bursts the next turn. Nope, he had decided on that and just ran out the clock as usual. Well, Forces of Destruction has to be the play here. I don't see another option. You got to get some Daedra. Oh, boy. You could ban Cliff Racer. Just get rid of the last copy of that. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 invades on top of this. Gah. Chooses to hit Scourges. Leaves a 4 charge in deck. I mean, the 3-feather War Chief still clears this, so... And then you can use Mute to tap this and that. And then there's just a bunch of 1s on the board. So it's not a lost game by any stretch of the imagination. I didn't even need to mute that, he could just curse it. But I was thinking save the curse to weaken Twilight. So it appears Felleran's going to run out the clock as per normal. I think I like the 3-boy play here. So War Chief clears that. Skulk goes here, Skirmisher goes here, Curse clears that. Then you double trade here. Well, I guess you trade here first. Well, trade there first then, so you can keep everything in the shadow. He chooses to go the Mute route, which will not involve playing the Skirmisher. Chooses to put his opponent to 5. Triple Invasion Party and an Oblivion Invasion. Who's going to go for Triple Invade. Yep. Triple Invade again. Invade yet again. Hits Train Charge lethal, which is going to put him just out of kill range. So you just Thieves Guild recruit into Tazcat, easy. Cursed Leaf Lurker clears the gate. So that was a valuable pull. You do need to clear that Drain lethal. So you throw your 3/5 at it. Then you've got everything else on board. Alright, so you're going to bump here, then you're going to Thieves or Crusader's Assault, draw a card, and hope that one card that you get is going to save you. Because giving all your creatures Ward isn't helpful. Giving all your creatures Breakthrough isn't helpful. And you're not going to be able to get a Slay with Fork. Unless you spend all of your Magicka doing that. I think Felleran got exactly what he needed when he needed to clear the gate. It was looking pretty bleak there for a minute. Javelin keeps him alive. Barring a charge draw. Picks up a Bloody Hand Chef. That's not bad. It's not ideal, but it's not bad. And you're going to start pulling curses out of your deck, increasing your chances of drawing charge. Phoenix is now looking for any drain creature. Though I'm not sure why the delay here. Is he debating whether he should trade? You don't need to trade, you go face. Drop Bloody Hand Chef and Curse just to try to keep your creatures over here alive. So we're back to running out the rope. So he does go for the trade. Yeah, you Ice Storm here. I don't think you ward up first. You've got to clear it. That's not... Well, you know he's got a curse, though. But you're going to get an invade, so you're fine. That disables Ice Storm. That was your win. You just blew your win.
The day is yours.
Yep, Phoenix now realizes he made the mistake. Drops a concession. With that, Fellerin's going to take it 2-0. Well played. Slowly played, but well played. That was our last... That was the entirety of the 5th round. Wow. Alright, so let's pull up our standings. As we finish, even with that loss, Phoenix's other opponents was still such that he is taken first. Devil has come into second, and Fellerin, with that win, was able to put himself up into third. Congrats to all of our competitors. Phoenix, it'll be nice to see you in the finals as you've earned yourselves a dedicated spot. Everyone else will be collecting their point score here, and they will get that toward advancing on points. There is one more finals that will be coming up in 7 days from now. It is tomorrow. Not tired. It is next week, Saturday, same time, 2 o'clock. That's where the T for tomorrow came from. 2 o'clock or 1400 Eastern Daylight Time. Hope to see you there. If there's any delay right now, it's because I'm in the process of restarting stream. See you on the other side.